Have you ever wondered if the year you were born in could decide what your life looks like? Is it just a coincidence, or could it really shape the way you think, act, or even what you do when you grow up? Let's take a fun journey together and explore whether your birth year might be more important than you think. Say this with me: the year I was born is part of my unique journey. I am open to discovering new things about myself. I trust that everything in my life has meaning. The universe is guiding me toward my true purpose. Now, let's dive into this exciting adventure together and explore how your birth year might just play a bigger role in your destiny than you've ever imagined. Have you ever thought about how your birth year might have an impact on your life? Maybe you've heard people say that the year you were born can affect who you are, what you like, and even the choices you make as you grow older. It might sound a bit strange, right? But it's actually a fascinating idea that a lot of people talk about. Today, we're going to dive deep into whether or not your birth year shapes your destiny. Are you ready for a fun exploration? Let's get started. So, what's all this about your birth year and your future? Well, some people believe that the year you were born in is super important and can really change your life. This idea is based on astrology, which is the study of how the stars and planets move and how they might affect you. In astrology, they say that when you were born, the planets were in a certain position, and that might influence the way you think, the way you act, and the way you handle life. It's like a cosmic map. But not everyone believes this. Some think astrology is just for fun and doesn't really change anything in our lives. Now, let's explore another idea. Have you ever heard about generational traits? This means that each generation, like baby boomers, millennials, or Gen Z, has its own way of looking at the world. People born in different years or decades might share certain attitudes, hobbies, or ways of thinking because of the time they grew up in. For example, people born in the 90s might feel connected to others who lived through the same experiences, like the rise of the internet and social media. On the other hand, someone born in the 70s might have a completely different outlook on life. But, some believe that these generational traits are too broad and don't really take into account the individual differences we all have. After all, not everyone who grew up in the same time period will have the same personality, right? But wait, there's more. Some studies have been done that look at how birth years might affect our personalities or choices. For instance, one study found that people born in the 1980s might be more adventurous and willing to take risks, while people born in the 1990s could be more careful and less likely to jump into new things. Isn't that interesting? But the tricky part is figuring out whether this is because of the year you were born, or if it's because of other things, like how you were raised or the experiences you've had growing up. That's still something that scientists and researchers are trying to understand. Now let's dig into another cool idea. What if your birth year doesn't just affect your personality, but also the people you meet and the experiences you have? Some people believe that the year you were born in could play a role in the people you cross paths with and the events that happen in your life. For example, maybe someone born in a particular year might be more likely to meet people who influence their choices or help guide them in their career. Think of it like destiny, or fate, leading you to the right moments and people. Some people even believe that our lives are full of meaningful coincidences, and your birth year could be part of that pattern. Let's take this a step further with something called the hero's journey. This idea says that everyone's life follows a certain path, like the plot of a story. In this story, we go through different stages, face challenges, and learn important lessons. And, just like in a movie, the year you were born in could be part of that journey. Some people think that the year you were born might help shape the types of adventures and challenges you face as you grow up. Pretty wild, right? It's all about how the year you were born might tie into the bigger picture of your life. Speaking of astrology, let's talk about something called the Saturn return. This happens when the planet Saturn comes back to the same spot it was in when you were born. For many people, this event marks a big turning point in their lives. It's often seen as a time when you go through a major change or face something that forces you to grow. Some people even believe that the Saturn return helps you get closer to your true purpose in life. Whether or not you believe in astrology, this is an interesting idea to think about, especially when you consider how many people experience big shifts in their life around the time of their Saturn return. But it doesn't stop there. Some people believe that each year has its own special theme. This theme might be something like creativity, leadership, love, or stability. The year you were born could give you a special life theme, which helps shape your experiences and the choices you make. For example, maybe someone born in a year that focuses on creativity feels drawn to art and music. Or, someone born in a year that's all about stability might focus on building a secure life. These themes could influence your entire life path and how you see the world. So, after looking at all these cool ideas, what do you think? Does your birth year have an impact on who you are and where you're headed in life? Or is it just a number that doesn't matter much? The truth is, we might never know for sure. Some people believe that your birth year is an important part of your story, while others think it's just a coincidence. But one thing's for sure, whether or not your birth year shapes your destiny, it's a fun and interesting topic to explore. In the end, your birth year might not control everything about your life. There are many things that influence who you are and what happens to you. But the idea that your birth year might play a role in shaping your destiny is something worth thinking about. Maybe, just maybe, it's the start of your own adventure, and the year you were born could be a small but important part of your story. What do you think? Do you believe your birth year has helped shape your life so far? Or do you think it's just a number that doesn't matter much? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and share your opinion. If you enjoyed this topic, don't forget to check out my next video, where we explore another fascinating subject, how numbers might also have an impact on your destiny. Thanks for joining me on this journey. I can't wait to hear what you think.